this is cjhoyle. Today is Saturday, May the 7th, 2022, and right now I'm riding my bike westbound on Dundas Street West. I'm just going to be making a right turn here onto Scarlett Road, because in this video I'm going to be giving a narrated tour of Scarlett Road here in Toronto's West End. Got a little bit of a backup of traffic going underneath this bridge here before we can continue. I believe there's a traffic light over on the other side of the bridge that the vehicles are waiting to cross. This bridge here that we're going to go under is for the Canadian Pacific Railway tracks, or the CP rail. And the cars are starting to move now, so hopefully I'll be able to make it through on this light cycle here. The traffic light here that we're going to cross is for Sinclair Avenue West, and this is the very far western end of St. Clair Avenue. That's where it terminates there. Although by this point, St. Clair is kind of a fairly minor, more like, neighborhood sort of a street. Whereas further to the east of here, it's much more of a main street with a lot of businesses along it. So of course the reason why I chose Scarlett Road as where I'd be riding in this video is because this is a street that received bike lanes back in 2019, I believe. So the beginning section we just rode there didn't have them, but once we get past here we can see that there's now paint on the road for the bike lanes, and then there's actually concrete dividers for most of the section that has the bike lanes, which is nice. So it's a beautifully sunny Saturday here in early May. Great day to be outside. I happen to be in this end of the city because I was participating in a Jane's Walk, which was hosted in this area, Jane's Walks are volunteer-led, organized walks. And the one that I was participating in was a history walk, which was about the Toronto Suburban Railway, an electric radial railway which operated back in the 1920s and 30s. I'm just heading down a bit of a hill here, and that's because we're sloping down into the valley where the Humber River flows. So prior to these bike lanes being installed, this was a street that functioned sort of more like a highway with two motor vehicle lanes in either direction. And right here we're just crossing over the Black Creek, which is another water body which flows into the Humber River. And over on the left back there, we were riding alongside the Lambton Golf Course. And I believe Lambton is also the name of this area of the city. You can see that this blue sign up ahead says Lambton Cleaners. So a business that's recognizing the name of its community where it's located. Of course, this is all part of the city of Toronto and would have been amalgamated quite a while back. Notice that the concrete dividers along this bike lane have paint on them. I believe the city works with local artists to get paintings done on those concrete barriers. And right here you can see we're riding over a bridge. This is the Humber River that we're crossing. Last summer I towed my kayak upstream on this river and I kayaked down it, including underneath that bridge there. And so up ahead there, you can see that the bike lane kind of peters out and ends, but you can see I've left the road now and I'm riding on the Humber River Recreational Trail, which along this section here, the Humber River flows pretty well parallel with Scarlett Road. So the trail that goes along beside it also follows along beside this road. So I guess the reason why they ended the bike lane there was because this section of Scarlett Road can be done pretty easily by taking the trail instead. So I'll continue following along Scarlett Road and we'll keep going further north along the Humber Recreational Trail. So down over to our right, there's a valley, and that's where the Humber River flows. You can see some mallard ducks there that we just passed on our left. Good to see lots of people out enjoying the trail on this beautiful spring Saturday. And so up ahead we're going to be crossing Eglinton Avenue, which is a major east-west street here in Toronto. And actually this portion of Eglinton Avenue that we're going to be crossing actually has a multi-use trail which follows it. But we're going to continue north a little bit further until the trail sort of goes away from Scarlett Road and does its own thing. Because of course the river doesn't go in quite the same straight line that the road does. Also notice that this portion of the Humber River Trail is part of the Pan Am Path. Just crossing the road here while we still got a green light. Pan Am Path is a legacy project from the 2015 Pan Am Games that were hosted here in Toronto, where they connected together a bunch of different existing trails. So here the trail picks up again, and this is through a park known as the Ukrainian Canadian Memorial Park, and you can see a memorial over there on the right with some flags that have been attached to it. That, I was reading the monument as I was coming through here earlier. That monument is for Canadians of Ukrainian descent who fought in the military for Canada over the years. But I believe those flags are a recent addition in recognition of the war in Ukraine that's going on this year. So you can see we're still following along right beside Scarlett Road, but we're kind of down in a ditch, sort of. And every now and again you can kind of see the Humber River peeking out a little bit over on the right, but it's pretty well hidden by the trees. Certainly later in the season, once the trees have more leaves on them, it's harder to see. You can kind of hear it every now and again too. So up ahead there's some construction work going on, which means there's a section of the trail that's closed, but I was reading the sign and it says that it should be opening pretty soon, and looking at the construction site, it looks like they're pretty close to having asphalt being put down where you'd be able to continue. But for now there's a detour, and I figure this is probably a good place to wrap things up for this video anyway. So that right ahead there you can see the construction trailer, and they've got a sign which shows you the detours that you can take. But hope you enjoyed joining me on this little bike ride here today along Scarlett Road. If you watched all the way to the end of this video, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.